Hello. In this video, maybe I'll clear Aether and Iron. They say this will be the final mission, and before the final mission, I am level 21. That means 20 skill points, 20 talent points, and 8 talent points are required for each line. So we can learn 2 lines fully and we'll have 4 more talent points. And perhaps I had to give these key items to Tiana for money. I kept those items to check whether these items can be used or not in late game. So let's begin the final mission.
The root cellar's half bar, half war room. Someone set up a map of the lowers on a table, while Thomas fills a row of glasses from a bottle expensive enough to be encrusted with gems. What's the occasion?
Good luck charm. Paid for by your friend here.
Even Aetherians find liquid courage helpful once in a while. I can think of no better occasion than today.
Yeah? Then how come mine's so small?
Gotta learn to hold a wrench right before you can touch an engine.
Oh, I see how it is. So's to drink with the rest of you, I need to show I can hold my liquor.
I down the ambrosia. A sweet glow warms my body like a droplet of sun. I only hope it's enough to get me through the coming storm.
That's everyone. Gia, if you would.
After the well tore apart Nation's Crusade, the map might as well be scribbled over. Fortunately, our starting point hasn't changed. I draw grids along Central Park. The road's torn up. Nellie can't have gone far. If we want any chance of finding her before she uses Daisy again, we'll need to split up.
Agreed. However, we will need to be careful. I doubt the well will be the only threat we need to be aware of.
So we enter the well, avoid any nasty surprises, and get to Nellie. And after that,
First, we stop her using Daisy before it blows up the well. Then, we get her away from Gardner.
She might put up a fight. After all, you're about to tell her everything she knows is a lie. And the man she loves like a father is a monster. It's enough to break someone.
Nellie's tougher than she looks. If we don't tell her the truth, she's going to make the biggest mistake of her life.
We all got our regrets. Doesn't mean she ought to pay someone else's blood-stained tab.
Glasses emptied, nerves briefly calmed. The room turns to me, looking for one last word to carry with them into the night. Zio used to say something whenever we went on a tough job. In bocca al lupo. Into the wolf's mouth.
Lupo is wolf.
I remember that. There was another part to it, wasn't there?
Yeah. And may the wolf die. Sure, we might be heading into danger, but if we play our cards right, we'll make it through to the other side.
Huh, I kinda like it. It's poetic, saying we'll kick the big bad wolf's teeth in, right?
How dramatic. I'm sure Apollo dear would have loved it.
After that, all that's left is to grab our gear, catch the ferry, and find our friend before it's too late.
Gia. See you later.
Take care.
Giovanna?
Okay, no more dialogues
Hey there. Both hands
for
on
these people.
Miss, clear skies to you.
Hey, Gia. Catch you around.
Oh, hello.
Okay.
How are things in Nation's Crusade when you left?
Evacuations are still in progress. I stayed as long as I could, but there are decisions that can only be made from the top. And without Apollo,
I get it. I miss him too, you know. He breathes deep.
when we brought Annie to the table, I'd hoped Apollo's sacrifice would be for something. For all his glib and rhetoric, he would not have wished for things to end as they did in Central Park.
I wouldn't say it was for nothing. Annie still stuck around to help. More people are going to make it out. That's something.
I suppose there's that.
Are you okay, Sam? Usually, Sam would give Atlas a run for his money when it came to carrying the world on his shoulders. At the moment, he barely has the energy to hold up a reassuring smile.
No, but I'll endure. It's how we Aethenians continue to survive. I think once this is over, I would like to go home. Not for long. The Underground and the Undercity League will be very busy after what happened in Nation's Crusade, but for a little while.
I put a hand on his shoulder. Slowly, he lets go. Take some time off. You deserve a vacation. Hell, we all do after fixing the well.
Thank you, Gia. I think it'll do us some good. Seeing family, friends, and loved ones again. And then we'll roll up our sleeves and get back to work. Just as Apollo would encourage us to do.
Still hard to believe everything about Gardner.
He fooled us, as Cressa put it. Looking back, it's easy to see how. He was always around, always open to conversation.
Yeah. I'll bet he made it real easy to unload all your problems. Bitterness hits my gut like a shot of sulfuric acid. It turns into a double shot when Sam's shoulders fall.
It may come as a surprise, but the Heights is out of reach even to the Undercity League. I spend more time with Alistair than I have in the company of a Heights Aethenier.
You and Gardner weren't close, were you?
We were friendly, as much as could be expected. I enjoyed our conversations. He even loaned me books from his collection. Now I don't think I'll ever look at his early edition of The Confidence Man the same way again. All right, bye.
Giovanna. So long. Back so soon.
Maybe I had to.
More unique. Mind taking a look?
And pray tell, what diamonds in the rough have you found, Mishi?
Sell those items. Maybe $40 for each. I could sell those key items here.
See you soon.
I don't think there will be any dialogues. Okay, I did not lose access to Nation's Crusade.
The Well's apocalyptic force has made a hellscape of nations' crusade, ripping buildings and roads apart in great dark gouts of brick dust and smoke. There's a low, constant roar of tearing concrete. A venomous little voice in my head eagerly points out how the Well has devastated everything closest to it. But I shut out the noise, both within and without. I tell myself there's still time. There's still time. Come on, Nellie. Where are you? I scan the whirling mass of flying wreckage, searching for safe paths into the heart of Hades. There are none. I squeeze the steering wheel, gritting my teeth. Doesn't matter. I'm not leaving without her. Ahead, the roadway is splitting into jagged, broken chunks, like a tree trunk splintered by a lightning strike. If I make the wrong move, I'll find myself steering over empty sky.
Impossible. Oh, critical success.
I suck in a deep breath and crush the accelerator. As the highway tears itself apart, I'm wrapped in sparking aether discharge, and I shut my eyes against the acrid sting. Then I'm through, basking in open air, and I finally let out my breath. Ahead, the shattered remains of a hotel churn in a spinning funnel of gravitational force, forming a devilish whirlwind of steel, brick, and glass that could rip my car to pieces.
And no damage. Okay.
I figure if my repulsors can lift a car, they can shift some scrap. I lean my ride and crank them to maximum, but all it does is stir the debris into a swirling soup that scrapes off a layer of my car's paint.
Yeah. Because of failure of skill check, I lost some health.
There's no calm in the eye of this storm. Gravity forces play havoc with the air itself, ripping bands of static electricity across my path like miniature arcs of lightning. At long last, two figures resolve in the maelstrom. Nellie's body is rigid with confused frustration, her platinum curls buffeted by the aether winds as she tries in vain to rouse her mechanical creation. Next to her, a beast dressed as a kindly old professor is entreating her to leave. At the sight of him, I feel a jab of hot fury punch through my forehead like a railroad spike.
I don't understand. Daisy, what's wrong with you?
I'm afraid we're out of time, my dear. Let's get to safety.
Hey!
Their shock at seeing another human being in the midst of the chaos is matched only by the anger sprinting through my veins like frothing coursers on the hunt.
Gia? What are you doing here?
Get away from him!
There's no time! We have to get clear!
I don't want to speak with you right now, Gia. I'm busy.
Your machine isn't working because he's been sabotaging it.
She's a criminal, Eleanor! We can't listen to her!
This grease spot lied to all of us about the bombing at the Institute. He looked me in the eye and lied to me. He was the one who lit the fuse.
That's a lie!
Dufresne took his orders from Gardner, Nellie. He always did.
I'd never even heard the name until I met you!
I brandished the file folder like a prosecutor making her final damning accusation to the jury. The proof's all here, kid. Have a look at your precious mentor's ring while you're at it. Nellie takes the folder, pinning its pages down against the gusting winds. We both watch Gardner hide his hand behind his back as he sputters an indignant retort.
Honestly, are we finished with these theatrics? We don't have time to entertain your flights of fancy, Miss Randazzo.
Nellie scans the evidence, dropping loose paper to flutter off like dead leaves. The well howls around us, echoing Gardner's impatience as he tries to snatch the files from Nellie's hands. She swerves away from him, and he shouts in anger.
It's a forgery! My dear, don't you see? She's not your friend. She's tried to trick you.
Professor? Show me your ring, please.
Eleanor, listen to me. We need to get somewhere safe. If you would...
Show me your ring.
I'm watching the foundation of a family crumble before my eyes. Hell, I'm taking a hammer to it myself. I know better than to step between them. I trust Nellie to handle it. She's earned that from me. An agonizing moment passes between Nellie and the wolf named Gardner. She seems to plead silently, desperate to see a meager fleck of humanity in his darkening eyes. But she can't find one.
If we don't activate Daisy, the well will destroy the lowers. Innocent people will die.
And I'll scrape the filth off the bottom of New York's shoe. And I'll be celebrated for it.
I can't believe this. Professor, please. There must be some mistake. You couldn't have been lying to me all this time.
I was. Every word, every moment. My designs are far beyond your understanding. For such a smart girl, you're actually quite stupid. There are mechanisms at work here you'll never comprehend.
A line of quicksilver traces through the air as the man-shaped beast whips out an elegant blade from inside his dowdy old cane, like a gleaming fang unfurling out of a cobra's maw. He aims its trembling tip at the base of Nellie's throat, his signet ring glinting in her eyes. I see her pulse leaping in her neck as a teardrop traces her jawline. His voice is softer than a wisp of smoke curled off burning paper.
I'm so sorry, my dear. You were a real prodigy. You had such promise. This isn't how I wanted it to go.
Before I can move, before Nellie can scream, his arms stiffen, and he shoves her bodily off the ledge and into the wide, storm-shaken sky. I throw myself after Nellie, watching her fingers tighten around a spar of broken metal. Gardner escaped in the truck somewhere behind me. Doesn't matter now. The fluttering white form of my friend dangles off the edge of the world. A sweet porcelain doll about to tumble down a rabbit hole into the dark. She's out of reach, and her grip is weakening. The wind rips tears from my eyes, the gale screaming like a chorus of banshees around us. I make one wrong move, and it's over. But I don't care what happens to me anymore. I search my whole scummy life for a solution. Surely all my experience, everything I've been through, should have prepared me for this. If I don't have the brass for this, Zio, what good was any of it?
I had to try hustle checks.
I snatch the busted, bent-up wheel of a bicycle from the ground and tear its airless rubber tire free. Hooking it around a street sign, I use the elastic lifeline to lean far enough over the lip to reach Nellie. The moment my hand makes contact with her wrist, I pull like I'm throwing the lever that opens the pearly gates. After a moment of frantic, scrambled recovery, we fall back in a heap, and she's safe next to me. In the sudden quiet, Nellie flings herself at me like a lost chick reunited with its mother hen, her little peeping sobs of terror and relief muffled by my coat. My cheeks are wet as I squeeze her to me.
I'm sorry. I should have trusted you. You said such nasty things. I didn't mean it, Gia. I promise I didn't, not a single word. I'm so sorry.
Hey, it's me who should apologize. I acted like a heel. I'm sorry, Nellie. I'm just glad you're okay.
You came back for me. You're a true friend. You never ever lied to me. Not like him. Oh, I could kill him!
First, we gotta stop him, Principessa. Then you can do whatever you want. The truck carrying Daisy isn't built for speed, and we catch up soon enough. I thumb the switch on my forward turrets, but Nellie puts a hand on my arm.
Forward turret?
No, we have to activate Daisy. It's the only way to stop all this.
Right, but I don't think Gardner will let us do that. Not without a fight.
Best to head home now, girls! You're out of time!
applesauce. Look what you done to my fenders.
Is someone going to help me?
Okay. He is dead.
How could you do this to me, Professor?
It's not about you, you silly child. It never has been. This is futile! You must see that! Keep them off me at all costs! Understand? Take them, now! your uncle die, and now you're going to get Nellie killed!
Can't take much more of this.
Give it up, Gardner.
Once more?
I won't let you do this!
You can't stop it now. No one can. The lowers is beyond saving. You're risking your life for nothing.
applesauce. Look what you done to my fenders.
No! It needs to burn!
It's over, pal.
No! Damn you, no!
Of course you die.
The beast gardener dangles off the edge of the world, fingers scrabbling at the broken asphalt. Fear pours off his coat like a noxious fume, rank as a line of soldiers.
Please! Eleanor, help me!
Murderer! You killed my friends! You lied to me! You're the worst person I've ever met, You pisshead! You bastard!
She seems even more surprised than me at the curses jumping from her lips. But then she juts her chin, seeming to conclude if ever such a wanton lapse of politeness was justified, it is now.
I'm slipping! I can't hold on!
Nellie turns to me. There's no trace left of the lost little bird I met that day in the uppers. She looks at me, reborn from the ash of betrayal and strife. No more a child seeking permission, but an equal asking my counsel. Leave him, kid.
He'll die!
None of this is your fault. You hear me? He chose this. You're no killer, Nellie. But you sure as hell don't have to save him either. Nellie turns her back on Gardner and screws her eyes shut. He lets out a final gasp as his grip gives way. And as he falls, his animal scream is sucked into the heart of the well. Nellie quickly identifies the poisoned thorn Gardner hid inside Daisy, an innocuous switch strangling the device from within. She shakes her head at the plain, simple boldness of it, and flips the switch. Nellie takes my hand as the well collapses before our widening eyes.
It worked!
Quiet, for what seems like the first time in years, descends over New York City. I look at my friend and wink. Never doubted you for a second, Principessa. When the well's haunting shroud was lifted, the countless barons of New York felt fear where others experienced relief. The underground was a new rising storm, seemingly more insatiable than the last. Ironhand, long a diplomat, now found new purpose in the wake of his friend's death, mobilizing the Aetherians and underground for revolution. If the barons were not going to negotiate a better world, he would have to take it. In the bustling aftermath, one voice cried hope for all to hear. Our cub reporter had found his own way, starting a newspaper that told stories to inspire action and to foster unity of the downtrodden. Along with his trusty bat and camera, Benny carried an undeterred obsession with justice. Cress's parting gift as she sent the boy out to save the world. And from every island, through broadcast or print, Benny's newsies declared the city could be reformed, saved from itself. The people listened, and before long, even some barons began to listen as well. While the people made noise, one corner of the city remained quiet, rebuilding after the well nearly tore it apart. This new nation's crusade, however, shut its borders, closing itself off to the world. But rumors trickled out of a saint who lives there, who rescued the people from the powers of the well, who dreams of building a new kingdom of heaven amongst the wreckage of New York City. Marm was gone, exiled. The old dragon had slunk away into some northern cave with the remains of her horde, and nothing to occupy her time other than messages from home about her fading legacy. The papers cried the end of Dreamland, but in the absence of the Great Queen, her daughters fought not each other, but the decay and decadence that had allowed the barony to rot. It had been Marco's dream to lead the Union in Dreamland, not Luca's. And with the darkness of his brother's death waning from his heart, he remembered what had always been most important: Diane. He passed on the torch of leading the Ledgemen, and then, on the same day, hung up his gloves on the wall in Congress Hall to remind himself of the journey he took to finally find peace. Sophie had given up any claim at becoming a Baron, but she hadn't given up on Dreamland. The Does still needed to be held in check, communities rebuilt, and the people given hope. Winnie trailed after her, hollow eyes giving way to a sweet and confident smile. The two rarely parted, and before long, the mousy girl from the gutter was giving soapbox speeches right up there next to Soph. In White Street, the death of General Eli did not bring the peace so many had hoped for. Instead, cliques of officers bound in subservience for decades now saw their chance to seize control. From the ashes of civil war, Lutzko's old guard claimed victory and a new mandate: peace. For the first time in years, infrastructure was rebuilt and wasting outbreaks were squashed. There was hope. I had expected to find Cress elbow deep in some machine with the news coming out of White Street. But instead, I found her alone, listening to an old record and packing her bag. She was leaving. The underground needed her, and she was done carrying the guilt of those who had been killed. People will die again, but better to fight and fail for a better world than stand by safely and watch it burn. I'd stay up at night sometimes, listening to the broadcast as a barony somewhere in the city dealt with an unknown rebel uprising. I hoped she was safe, and that she'd truly forgiven herself. The world had changed. 3 barons brought low, the well gone, red Aether on the streets. But what really kept me awake at night was the sound of a cocked hammer humming against my skull. To this day, there's not a crowded street or empty alleyway that isn't haunted by specters of a black hat. I still wonder if those glimpses are my mind playing tricks, or if death finally made a ghost of the hanged man. But the disappearance of Tobias Dufresne could have also been summed up by the anger of his prior employer, the Trust, whose tendrils in this city spread like some invisible chthonic evil. The death of Alistair Gardner only left me with more questions. Who are they really? Why did they want war in the Lowers? To destroy it? And what are their plans now that their pawns have been removed from the board? Nellie couldn't stand the thought of leaving us to safeguard the Lowers all by ourselves. The Kid just had to stick around. Apparently, we were in dire need of a genius. Before long, we had to expand her lab to accommodate a growing list of projects for total strangers. Whether for water, food, medicine, the good doctor couldn't turn a soul away. And one by one, she made the lowers brighter. There's this little comic shop down in Four Fingers. Always had what's new. So, when the clerk handed me that month's special, I couldn't help but laugh at Zio's hat and my 7-shooter gracing the cover. I still don't know how that squeaky comic writer found me, but apparently he'd been my shadow since the well, tracking every hopeless and sob story job I'd taken. Called me Robin Hood with a gun. Question after question, he grilled me. Why did a smuggler work for free? Or help Aetheniers and nobodies? Why did she stay in the lowers? Before I drove away, I told him straight. Someone had to play the hero.
Okay. Artworks was great. Music was good. And voice acting was good also. Some story elements were not quite likely, but overall, I think that's okay. And max level was 21, and I could sell key items to Tiana for more money. Okay, that's all. I had great fun for a while to playing this game. And I thank you to watching my video. See you next time.